How's it going there, everybody? It's Mr. Zen over here bringing you guys a brand new One Piece chapter discussion. And for today's segment, guys, we're going to be talking about is chapter 866. And yes, folks, I personally thought that this chapter was definitely well received due to the fact that we've actually got to see Big Mom or Lin actual's backstory involved with how she is related to Evolve herself. And that's the thing that's very interesting, is the fact that why was she at Evolve, or what was her relation towards Mother Caramel as well in correlation to being in Evolve itself. And honestly, this chapter is giving us more insight that I personally feel like this one chapter itself feels like it should lead on to another chapter, at least two more chapters, at least to know more about what's going on in Evolve itself and what Big Mom has been causing with the giants themselves, because of the fact that it seems that there's in this chapter, it seems that it's showing a little bit of a rough tension between the giants and Big Mom herself. Because remember, guys, at the beginning of Whole Cake Island, even if you guys are watching the anime or read the manga, you guys gotta remember that Oda gave us a little tease in the beginning of Whole Cake Island, is that Big Mom has an illness, that she has like a very gluttonous behavior, and that in itself was showcased in chapter 866, guys. Is that gluttonous behavior is what causes her to actually wreak havoc upon villages, just destruction all around. And you're here wondering, like, you know, this is actually a very interesting plot development, because it might also lead on to what's going to be happening in the when actually the flashback is done, in correlation to what's going to happen at the Whole Cake Island party itself. That's what I'm kind of interested in, the fact. But needs to say, let's give a little bit synopsis as to what's going on in this chapter. Now, in this chapter, like I said, it gave us a brief introduction of Mother Caramel, or actually how they introduced her was Sister Caramel, but they actually led on to us actually explaining as to why she became Mother Caramel towards Big Mom. Because Sister Caramel, or Mother Caramel herself, she was actually like this, you could say like a traveling monk of some sort, you could kind of say. And it, because like they kind of didn't really give explanation as to what she was doing, but it was back when I believe Brogy and the other giant, they were actually captured, or they are not captured, I should say, they were missing from the world itself. And of course we all know they're in Little Garden, etc., but the giants that were with Brogy and them, they actually got captured. And it's very interesting, guys, that they brought that up in this chapter. And it's not because of that specific scene, no, it's because of what Mother Caramel said. She actually explained that we cannot kill these giants, because if we kill the giants, then the giants from Evolve themselves are going to harbor ill towards the world government itself, and they're going to come in and wreak havoc. And of course they're the most powerful nation of warriors, so that in itself will kind of put a bit of fear in the world government. But it just, to me, it seems like the world government wants a war. Like, that's what it kind of seemed to me, that they were actually gonna just behead these giants. It's not that they actually, I shouldn't say they want a war. It's more the fact that they want to show the world government that that there's someone to be feared. Even if they capture these giants, these strong warriors themselves, they want to say, the world government wants to emphasize the power of themselves. And honestly, that in this scene was actually very important, guys. And seeing that Mother Caramel actually was showcased kind of like a holy being saving the giants themselves was actually interesting in Oda's, and the visual imagery that he was actually trying to portray in the chapter was actually, as you could kind of see, like the light was kind of shining towards her. And we're looking at like, okay, Mother Caramel, this character has to be very important. I'm hoping that at least that we also get to see more of her in the later chapters, or at least get a glimpse, even if not in this arc itself, but in other arcs as well, because of the fact that we aren't really introduced as to if she died or not. And by the way, it doesn't really explain if she died or not in this chapter. Like I said, the chapter kind of cuts off again. But hold on, we're gonna get there, guys. We're gonna get there now. Also, the fact that I do want to mention the fact that was actually another interesting theory, was the fact that Evolve itself, they didn't really go too much into detail on Evolve itself. It felt they kind of centralized at one point. They weren't kind of give the whole schematics of Evolve. So they were there, but just didn't really kind of you kind of say explain more of Evolve. Now, what made it me interesting is that we got to see the oldest giants in the One Piece story itself. That was actually pretty interesting, and I believe it was Yorle and Yarly. I believe the translation could be changed either way, but that's what the one from where I read it from Manga Freak itself, guys. That's the translation that I got. But anyway, the point is, we're seeing these two oldest giants actually showcase themselves, and we also see Hajruden in the chapter as well. But the fact that it made it more interesting is the fact that these two oldest giants so much can be said from these giants, guys, that I'm just wondering, what the heck, you know, Oda? You just keep giving us more and more teas that I want to know what these giants can possess. Not necessarily what kind of fighting abilities. No. That's for future's sake. No, I want to know is, what do they know about the world? So do they know about the Void Century? Do they know about the poneglyphs themselves? Were they the ones that actually helped scatter them all over the world? You know, like I said, because, you know, these poneglyphs are really, they're huge, guys. I mean, no amount of just like one person can just carry them. No, I feel like the giants have got to be involved in the poneglyphs transportation. At least some kind of speculation right there. Come on, guys. You guys gotta give me some kind of credit right there. But the point is, you know, we're looking at Yorle and Yarle, and they were kind of giving us this traditional, you could say, like, religion where they were fasting, and like I said, it all correlates back to Big Mom. And now Big Mom, of course, she's never heard of this, because, you know, she's 5 years old throughout this whole entire chapter, guys. We're still in her little 5-year-old self. And what's interesting about Big Mom is that she was abandoned by her parents at Ebop. That's what made it interesting, is that she's basically an orphan, but they abandoned her not because of her giantness. And it's actually another part I want to say. I know I'm all over the place, but it's just like, you know, I'm just amazed at the fact that she's not a giant. She is you know, to other humans, but it doesn't seem like she has giant blood in her. I mean, her mom and dad seems like they're just regular humans, or either that, she could still be a giant, maybe. Correlation, maybe she has old giant beings, or maybe she just has a, you know, abnormal growth rate. You know, maybe it's somewhere along the lines of there. Not too sure. But anywho, you know, we get to see that in the chapter, and it seems that during this winter solstice, it actually now explains what that tension between Big Mom and the giants were, because Yorle and Yarle actually noticed that the Big Mom wreaked havoc across the whole entire village, and from there, of course, they want to execute Big Mom herself, or Linlin, I should say. They want to execute Linlin because she's destroying, you know, this piece that's over here in Ebop itself. And it's interesting because, does that mean that she acquired her Conqueror's Haki, or does it have to correlate to that, or the giant's power itself? Like I said, does that have to, like, you know, does that all correlate with each other? That's what makes it interesting, that, you know, that I feel like I want another chapter that involves more of this backstory. You know, it's just giving us more reason to actually give us empathy towards Linlin's character development. And a lot of people are saying that, oh, you know, this backstory is very horrendous, I don't want to see it. No. That backstory is actually pretty interesting. If you guys are paying attention to the whole One Piece story, it's actually very much needed. And of course, you know, it's more to the fact to give Big Mom more of, like, to make her feel human, to centralize the character, that she's not just this overpowered character. Because remember, guys, Oda's crafting this story very well, and it's going at a pace that I think it's very going wonderful. After the 2-week break, of course, you know, go ahead, Oda, take all you need, and this chapter is going very well. But last thing I do want to mention is the fact that what the heck, you know, when they were involving the sister, Mother Caramel, I want to know is if she really left Big Mom, or did she save the children themselves? Like I said, it kind of still leaves us at a standpoint that maybe Mother Caramel did die from Yorle and Yarle's execution. Maybe she put herself on the execution table. That's what I'm thinking right now. This is all speculation, guys, as to what's gonna happen in the next chapter. Because if you remember, guys, back in previous chapters, Big Mom was saying, "Oh, you know, where did you go, Mother?" As a saying, like, as if she left her. Maybe that was Big Mom's way of kind of blocking that realization that, you know, that she died. And instead of, you know, like, she was leaving, kind of like a traditional, you could say, like, I believe it's a religious teaching where, like, you know, instead of I think it was I believe it was an Eastern philosophy where the parents leave and let the children do what they own, or if that's what she's implying. Not too sure what Oda's trying to go right there, but needless to say, I do want to know what did happen to Mother Caramel that's involved with Big Mom. Does she save Big Mom? Because, I mean, come on. Linen is still a small child, doesn't know any better, and it was very much emphasized throughout the whole entire chapter itself. I mean, come on, she even tried to break a long-armed tribe's arms to make it look like human, and she even killed a bear just because she wanted to make them friends. Like, she's just having, childishness, that she wants whatever her mind is, she wants it to become a reality, but that's not how it works. She's thinking like, the simple mindedness of a child is still embedded in Linlin during that specific time frame. But said, can't wait to see what happens in the rest. But let me know down in the comments below, guys, as to what are you guys' thoughts on Mother Caramel. Do you guys think that she actually dies in this arc itself, or do you guys think she leaves? That's what I'm kind of curious and heading for, because the fact that I think she does die. I think she's gonna die. She's gonna sacrifice herself in order for Linnet to survive, because of the fact that Yorle and Yarle, they seem like these guys are very, very, very religiously, and they hold tradition down. So if they want to execute this demon, it seems Mother Caramel would actually just sacrifice herself, as she cares for all human being and races itself. And also, what do you guys think of Yorle and Yarle, characters themselves? You guys want to see more of these characters, because I want to know what kind of information these characters hold. And also, what do you guys think of Hadruden coming out in this chapter itself? I personally thought that was pretty interesting, seeing little baby Hadruden just fighting right there. That was pretty interesting. But like I said, let me know down in the comments. And as always, guys, if you guys enjoy my content, don't forget to give a like, comment, share, and subscribe for more One Piece chapter related content. And as always, guys, hope to see you guys in the next video. But this is Mr. Zen, signing out.